Everyone, Adam here, So Wizard Podcast. Just a really brief introduction to this. We did a couple of these top five countdown lists. I did them with James and Andrew. James is director, Andrew's a prop master on a bunch of different TV shows. Really cool guys. Really like doing these with them. It's really fun to just hang out and talk movies. Anyway, we did the top five number twos that just came out right before this video, so make sure you check that out if you haven't. But we talked for so long, both before and after the top five list, and a lot of it was really good movie talk and really funny. So I thought I would throw it all together as kind of a bonus to our top five list. So that's what this video is. It's just a lot of movie talk, joking around, things like that. They tell some hilarious stories about one of the Canadian politicians, which I know you're probably politicked to death, but it's more about the absurdity of it, so absurd that it could be a movie. I just thought it was funny stuff, well worth listening to. Kind of like a podcast without structure, so enjoy.
In case you're wondering, I still have nothing to promote. Although,
okay. I can add it to the ticker when you do.
But the show I'm out props mastering on is on hiatus till May long weekend. So if anyone in Toronto needs some daily calls, let me know.
Is May long weekend May 2-4?
That is May 2-4.
Is that's not a thing in the States, is it, Adam?
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, it's Victoria Day, so it's definitely not.
So in Canada, we call 24 cases of beer, we call them 2-4s. So like, yeah, but pick up a 2-4, let's get like wrecked. And May long weekend is like May, because it's on May 24th usually.
But it's like the first kind of cottagey weekend where people really tune up in the nature.
Yeah, and it's a very like Ontario, Ottawa Valley
spring getaway, 3-day weekend.
Yeah, May 2-4 long weekend, but get some fucking pilsners up there and let's get nuts.
Get some blues.
Now it's just sounding like Letterkenny to me. So.
Yeah, that's
what it is.
That's awesome.
It's like that up. It's not just the Ottawa Valley. It's hit northwestern Ontario as well.
Yes.
Anywhere that there's cottages, essentially, because that's usually the weekend everyone opens up their summer cottages, their seasonal stuff. Because it's finally been nice enough to not freeze up there.
Right. Okay.
And have like
kicks off your vacation season.
And have septic that's not frozen in the ground, kind of thing.
It's funny because we had a lot of pretty serious COVID scandals with government in Canada, but like I think the biggest headline ones were all different, on like premieres or whatever. Just like going to cottages when they weren't allowed to during quarantine, where they're like the pipes were gonna freeze. I had to go.
Yeah. But they're still they're not near any other people going away to a cottage.
I know they're very cute scandal. That's a cute scandal.
The problem is this side saying, everybody stay at home, don't go anywhere, and then them on the other side being like, my pipes though.
I know.
Yeah, our scandals were more like this guy says, hey, you can't be with anybody, and then him and 30 friends are eating at a restaurant, breathing in each other's faces. So it's like,
I will say the head of Ontario is his brother is maybe like Trump's, no pun intended, any American politician in terms of scandals. He's dead now.
He was the canary in the coal mine as far as being able to be such a disaster of a human being and have people like him.
It's Rob Ford, right? I confused him now.
Yeah,
Rob Ford was used to he was the mayor of Toronto.
Crack smoking mayor, caught on tape, video
caught on tape smoking crack did not affect his popularity that much.
And then he got stomach cancer.
Wow.
Immediately. Insane. But he was like drinking and driving. There's photos of him. Like it's a gold mine of stuff. Like him.
Was he exceptionally good at his job? And they're like, I don't care if he's smoking crack. Everything's going good.
Nope.
No? Okay.
He was apparently never there.
Yeah. Oh. He was like Teflon. It was crazy. He would say like there was one thing where it was like he hit on some reporter and he said something about going down on her. And then later someone confronted him at a press conference like, did you say that you wanted to go down on this reporter? And his response was like, no, I have plenty to eat at home. Thank you very much. And everyone was like, Jesus Christ. And it was still just fine. No one cared.
Yeah. There's great footage of him. So he was a big proponent of like youth football programs. So there's a great clip of him taking a snap and trying to fall back to do a throw and just falling down.
Yeah, I feel like it's worth pointing out without being cruel about it that he was like morbidly obese, but like he had a bit of a Cartman vibe in terms of like really energetic.
Constantly.
Red face.
Yeah, constantly red in the face. He had seemingly like a bottomless pit of energy.
Yeah. In the crack
drugs.
the crack smoking tape, he's doing like patois.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Dabba, dabba."
Yeah, it's wild. It is wild. And there's another great clip of him walking like full speed ahead, walking face first into a video camera.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one.
There was he also hung out with Mike Tyson for a while, right? Wasn't there like so fucking great? Sorry, they'll stop the Canadian. It was just the hottest Canadian politics ever got. A lot of our corruption is very
it went like it hit the talk show circuit in the States. That's how you know we've made it.
Yeah, it's true. Drake level Canadian.
I wish that's
fame.
all we had for our
I know.
It'd be really nice.
And now his brother's the premier of Ontario, which means he controls all our healthcare and education.
Yes, bad news. But his big thing was Buck a Beer. That's what he ran on originally, right?
Yeah,
he wanted to make beer. Yeah, it's true. That's like the greatest thing. We have a few.
Only a 6-pack that you can get of no name beer.
But he's still a Buck a Beer. He was like, I'm gonna make beer $1 for a beer.
With deposit and taxes, it's more like $1.20 a beer. But
I guess George W. Bush won because he said everyone was going to get a $300 check one time.
Yeah,
he got 4 years of presidency for that. So
well, I remember I voted. Okay, well, this is whatever. Keep politics in the closed bedroom, but whatever. I voted for Trudeau the first time and was like literally there was the thing of like voting out Stephen Harper, but there was also, honestly, if I'm being honest and embarrassing, it was just like, he's going to legalize weed. Sick. And I really wanted to happen. I voted for him, and like within 3 months, 6 months, he did it. And I was like, okay, that's like all I needed.
He kept his promise.
As far as things to be remembered for as a politician, it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good like top of the list sort of thing that you've done.
Yeah, he has so many failures, and just that's the one that you're like,
he did do that.
He made an impression because weed was just legalized in New York here like a week ago, literally just now. And every time the debate came up, they'd be like, "Well, Canada's been doing it for X amount of years, and it's been fine." So
it's been totally fine. No,
it's not a big deal.
The world hasn't ended here.
No. Nothing has changed. I can't think of a difference, honestly. There's no
tax stream for them.
You don't have to go to some sketchy guy's house anymore.
Yeah,
or have someone come to your house.
Yeah, or
get it online.
I was ordering it for a bit from a place. Statute of limitations, I'm good, but I had to get into somebody's car.
I had the same number as you. I remember I had to get into this.
I was like getting a Jaguar. I'm like, I don't like this.
No, bad news. Was I with you? No, maybe it was another.
That was
friend. But there was one where we were in a car. It was either you or someone else, and there was 2 cars pulled up on either sides, and it felt like that scene in Sicario where like there's fucking machine guns either side. This is gonna happen.
Why us?
All right, are we gonna do Oscar snubs really quickly, or what do you guys think?
We can, if we want to keep it more to half an hour than in the hour that we just did.
We could try.
Wait, what if we just do it? Oh yeah, it's true. Well, this is actually a good one. This is a good question before we even do it. Because I think Andrew and I even made different lists. What was your, for Oscar snubs? What was your list, Adam? Not like what's on them, but like what's the definition of it?
I just looked up a bunch of times the Oscars got it wrong, and then I read like, oh, this movie won and this one should have, and if I agreed with it, I put it on, and then I kind of just bumped some off when I got past number 5.
Okay, that's also what Andrew did.
Yeah.
And what I did was movies that got snubbed this year.
Oh, okay. So that is 2 different lists, yeah.
So we could do it, and I'll just be the outlier, or we can just do it next week and do it right.
It's really up to you guys. I'm fine either way. If you want to, we can come up with the top 5s overall and the top 5s for this year if you want. That way,
overall, it's the hardest list of all time.
Well, it's hard because there's so much, but that's why I just like mine are a lot more recent. Like, my number 1 is when Parasite beat 1917. I think that's absurd.
You think that? Do you think that? See, this is the what?
Wow,
that's why it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, I loved Parasite.
I liked it too. I really did. But 1917 is just this otherworldly, insane thing that they pulled off, and it was so good.
That is so fun. Andrew's face during that is maybe the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Hey, James, how do you feel about that idea?
No, I disagree. I think Parasite winning is like one of those few times where I was just like, my favorite movie won this year.
Yeah.
Same with Silence of the Lambs is one of them.
Best Picture instead of Best Foreign, so the Oscar people could be like, look, we're looking outside the box.
That's what people said, and then I had that. This is the argument I have with people all the time, which is like, if a movie gets popular or if people like it for the wrong reasons, does it spoil it? And I never know the answer. Well, my answer is no. But like, I had friends who did not like Parasite after that because the Oscars.
No, see, I really like the movie, and if 1917 came out a year before or a year after and Parasite won, I'd be like, oh, that's awesome because that movie was so out there. It's not their normal thing, and they picked it.
Parasite.
But I just thought 1917 was such an accomplishment of a movie.
Best movie of 2019. That was a good
great year. That's our first list we did, James. I got it.
I know. I wouldn't even tell you. I
got him right here.
Like, I remember when the nominations came out, I was like, this year, these are the movie? Like, there were so many good movies in 2019.
The Lighthouse.
Was good.
Midsummer.
That was really good.
Midsummer, yes.
Uncut Gems.
That was awesome.
Sorry, we're just going to keep saying this.
Pain and Glory. I love Pain and Glory.
Wait, Pain. Oh, the Almodovar one.
Almodovar.
Is that a basketball one?
No, that one is, but it's Antonio Banderas.
I didn't see that one.
Is like a kind of washed up actor. It's really great.
Oh, good. Now I have something to watch.
Ad Astra.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
I'm just going down my list. This is James and I's inaugural list.
Man, 2019 was a good year for movies.
It was really good. It was raining that day. This page is all wrinkled. Little Women. I really liked Little Women. I don't know about you guys.
I didn't see that, but I heard good things.
I watched that. I was in Arizona for the holidays. It's just a story that I think is funny. And I was like, I'll go see Little Women. It's the holidays, I'm in Arizona. And I was like, I'll get a beer at the movies. And they were like, hey, do you want to double the size of this? And I'm like, sure. Okay. So it was like, I had like a 60-ounce, stadium, football stadium sized beer.
For Little Women.
For Little Women, yeah. And then when I got to the guy who's checking the tickets, he's like, You're here for Little Women? Like, yes, sir. Yes, I am.
It's also I realized the vibe of that could have been really gross too. You're like, you bet your ass I am.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I am, sir.
That was
they offered me to upsize the beer, and I said yes. What do you want?
My favorite when I saw Spring Breakers in theaters. I remember there was a few dudes, trench coat dudes, who walked in maybe halfway through, sat weird for a while, then left.
Oh no.
And I was like, I know what's happening here. It's quite a gross vibe. Similar to when me and my friend Jesse thought it would be hilarious to get really high and buy fresh pies and go to Life of Pie and be like, we're just excited about the whole culture. And then, but the ticket person didn't care. And then we just had these dumb pies.
The joke was for one guy.
Had the pie.
Yeah.
Wait, 2019 also had Us.
Yes.
It also had The Irishman.
Yeah, Irishman. A movie that I will defend till the end of my life.
Yeah, it also
Us is a movie that I will go the opposite of defending to the end of my life.
No, I know. I would love to defend it. I know that the old age thing looks bad, but I still love that movie.
Dark Waters. I quite like Dark Waters.
Charlize Theron?
No, Mark Ruffalo.
Oh my God, yes. The
Poison Water movie.
Poison Water.
Okay, yeah, I did see that.
The Death of Dick Long. That's
that
classic.
was
I like that
Andrew
movie.
and I have the exact same spot in our list.
Yeah. Anyway, why are we talking about 2019?
Because it was a banger year.
Because you'll notice that 1917 does not appear for me.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I liked it. I really liked I enjoyed but it felt like it was like a video game or something experience for me where I'm just like, this is so strange. I'm glad I saw it big and loud for sure.
Yeah.
I'm in a sweet
I won't watch it on my regular TV.
But it's just kind of left. I watched it and then it sort of just left my head. I don't know why.
Oh.
I'm in a sweet spot where I haven't seen it, so I don't have to pick sides. But I bet I would love that movie. What are you talking about? I love virtuosic.
Yeah. He does incredible work in that.
Stylistic, movie. Yeah. We're gonna do one shot. I also like the one shot thing. I always love, but I'm annoyed by at the idea because I'm like, it's been done, but it's still every time I watch it, and that one in particular, I'm still the most curious about because I'm like, what do you do with downtime? One shot.
Yeah, and that one, it's not because Birdman did it pretty good, but then they had a few things where it would stay on the sky to pass the time and things like that, and even in Rope because they'd have to cut every 16 minutes or whatever, but they did such a good job hiding it. But in 1917 is they're running and there's explosions and massive set pieces and hundreds of extras. And it's if they tripped walking in that trench, those 200 extras all need to reset and go back to start. And
Okay, so this is, by the way, a rule that I think about often, which is, should the Oscars be officially the the Western awards? Like, should foreign language films not be nominated for Best Picture?
I think it's weird they have a specific category for it, but I guess it kind of shines light on things that don't get light shown on them.
But then it's weird. So, like, what's the one that got nominated this year that's a foreign language movie, but it's an American producer? Oh, Mari. That's like, or Minari. That movie's like made in America. It's an American produced movie, but it's foreign language, so it gets nominated for foreign language.
The only thing I can see there is they probably thought we have a better chance at winning in this than we do. Because, like, why did The Martian win Best Comedy? It's not a comedy. Like, stop pretending. Like, they shouldn't even allow that.
I saw The Martian and I liked it, but I remember thinking, like, if someone told me this, if someone had marketed this to me as a comedy, I would have seen it like opening weekend. Like, it was just like, I was like, oh, The Martian, whatever. And I watched
I saw it and I liked it. And then when it won for a comedy, I'm like, that's a cheat. Just, it didn't win. So, like, it's so dumb.
The Martian's cool because it's like a really high budget, like, YouTube do-it-yourself video. Just like, here's how I grow in plants in space.
And it's all shot on GoPro, so anyone could have done it with $1,000 at Best Buy.
Also, unofficial prequel to Interstellar, I like to think of it as.
I kind of put it in that same category, too. Like, every year for a while, we were getting one of, like, the smarter science fiction movies.
No, but Adam, I'm not even talking about that. In Interstellar, Matt Damon is a man who's been stranded on a planet. And then they
that's right. And he goes crazy.
He tries to murder them all.
It's just the parallel universe.
I was like, this is how this guy ended up. That's how I decided. I'm trying to think of who else was nominated because 2017 I haven't, or 1917 I haven't seen, so I can't. But I loved. I'm trying to think of a few times the Oscars were like number one. Like Silence of the Lambs, I still was like that was the best movie that year.
I know it's popular to crap on now, but I really liked Forrest Gump. Maybe I just saw it at the right time. But then when you see what else was nominated that year, it won over Pulp Fiction and Shawshank Redemption. I'm like, ooh, I really like Forrest Gump, but I don't think it should have beat those two.
Forrest Gump is the weird Robert Zemeckis thing where it's like what's the word? It's like he doesn't understand humans or something. I can't describe it. It's like he's reading about humans in a book and then he writes a movie for them. It's like they're still amazing, but it is this weird thing where it's like that's why Forrest Gump as a character is like almost perfect for him. He's like a person who's like disconnected, but it's like I don't know. I love Robert Zemeckis. I just like I can't.
But that was also based on a book.
Yeah, there you go. I'm trying to think if it's like the way he directed it because it's like same with that movie, The Walk. Did you guys see the Walk he did, the Man on Wire movie?
No.
It's like so bad. There's the most thrilling documentary of all time, Man on Wire.
Oh yeah,
and it's just still images, and you're like, okay, so this guy with all this money. And it's really just the wire scene is like amazing, but everything else is just like who cares? Or Allied, similar thing.
Okay,
it's like high stakes, but you're like, there's no human connection. Anything else. I don't know. I love Robert Zemeckis, but I also think he is.
Maybe it's just because I really like history, and then you take a character that's kind of bland, kind of everyman, and then run him through Americana history.
I would love to watch a sequel to Forrest Gump. I didn't even think about it till now. Like, let's make this happen.
Forrest Gump probably autistic, right?
I think he's like.
I mean, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I feel like he's got to be on the spectrum somewhere.
It's weird because I always thought he had like mild Down syndrome, and then I did a movie a video for So Wizard, and I was writing it, and it's like in the book and in the script, he was never supposed to have anything actually different about him. His IQ is just low, and I was like, ooh, I kind of made that mistake the last 20 years.
His bad legs.
Yes. Oh.
But autism, I think, you could make an argument there.
It feels like a spiritual cousin to Rain Man in my mind, but I haven't seen it in such a long time that I could be.
Autism. Autism is what everyone's saying. Like therapists or psychiatrists who see it.
Yeah, that makes more sense. I mean, I was 9 when I saw it the first time, so I don't think I really knew what autism was.
So it's not that crazy. I mean, the big thing about that movie is like it's weird that Jenny sleeps with Forrest Gump. Like she's probably taking advantage of him.
It's extremely compulsive behavior to walk that much.
Yeah.
That's like there's something going on upstairs there with that walking.
That's so crazy.
He walks a lot. He walks real far.
Yeah, it's fun.
To do a quicker list, James, since you already prepped, do you want to run down your list and we can just talk about them?
I'll do really fast. You ready?
But we don't have to do like too much of a speed run, but that way we can just your effort wasn't wasted.
No. Well, I am at this beautiful scenic cottage.
Yeah.
You
got to get going.
But this is just for the people out there who I think should have been nominated. The fifth one is a bit of a stretch, but I like it. Candice Bergen in Let Them All Talk. She's like career of a lifetime. She's been like building up to it, and no one saw that movie, and I would have given her a nomination. Delroy Lindo, Five Bloods. I know that movie didn't get nominated for anything other than score. Everyone said it was going to get nominated for all the things, and it didn't. And Delroy Lindo was the one I was holding out hope for. I think he's like the best he's ever been, and also one of those actors that has this great career and no one really talks about. So
yeah,
like, this would have been his moment.
It would have been like one of those kind of lifetime achievement Oscars where they kind of like try to make it right. Do you think that movie overall should have been like Best Picture nominated?
My opinions of that movie are really weird. It's like, it's a bit of a blank check thing. It's kind of what I was saying about what am I trying to say? It looked like Spike Lee had a bunch of money, and that made me like happy when I was watching it. I was like, he finally did it. It's like the craziest movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good movie, I guess, objectively.
I thought it was good, not great. I
loved it, but in spite of itself, I guess is a weird way to say that. I wouldn't recommend it, maybe is a good way to say it. And I wouldn't defend it. I would defend The Irishman, but I know that people hated that movie. But Five Bloods, I would be like, yeah, I know.
People just hated the runtime.
Yeah, that's the thing I defend, because I watched it in theaters. I think maybe that's the difference. I watched The Irishman sitting down in theaters, and I was like, holy shit, I feel like I was alive through this guy's whole life.
Yeah, limited.
Like, it was just a crazy feeling.
Not a huge run, but it played at a few places.
Yeah.
Okay, so Best Actor for any of the movies, but I specifically thinking about ending things. Jesse Plemons.
Oh, yeah.
Totally slept on him this year, everyone, for award stuff, because he was he was like amazing in that movie, and he was so good in Judas and the Black Messiah. He's just like the greatest villain alive. Love him. Best Director. Don't know how you give him the nomination, because it's, I guess, technically a TV series. It's released as films in the UK, but who knows? I just thought it was cool. Steve McQueen for all of the Small Axe movies he directed this year.
Okay.
Technically directed 5 movies or 1 Amazon Prime show, depending on what continent you're in.
But wouldn't it be like best? It wouldn't be Best Director, but don't they have something for miniseries, or is that the Emmys?
That's the Emmys and the Golden Globes, and he was nominated for a Golden Globe. So I just wanted it was because the OJ documentary was nominated one year, and I was like, so they can have like count for the whatever. I just wanted to talk about how much I love those. And the number one, the most maybe one of those boring movies on paper of the year, but a movie that I loved so much, and I can't believe the Oscars didn't talk about it, because I guess it came out right at the beginning of COVID. But First Cow, Best Picture, should have been nominated.
I didn't say that. All right.
There's some very tasty desserts in that movie.
Yeah. Good rundown.
I really want to eat them. Not the cow.
Awesome.
You don't want to eat the cow.
It's the only one in town.
A big surprise about First Cow. Nobody wants to eat it, and that's cool.
They just want to.
I guess I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, I love that movie. It's funny.
I loved it too.
It really made me like misty-eyed the whole time. It's like a type of thing that it's like so well. You just like you get emotional over how great friendship is. It's like such a vague because it's all connected to just how hard it is to like succeed when all the things are stacked against you in terms of who has the money in the environment they're in, and who's from where. It was just all of the real world implications are there, but mostly you're just God, it's great to have a friend. It's just amazing amazing emotional peaks and valleys.
Great little movie. So we're gonna come back for overall snub.
Yeah, I think we'll come back for overalls, and we'll come up with a couple other ideas.
I'm just mad they didn't nominate Parasite 5 different times and get 1917 even off the list.
But it's not even like I hated the movie. I really liked the movie, and then I went to the theater and saw 1917, and I was like, oh, this is a movie.
Here's my defense of Parasite. Not that we're talking about it now, but it's Alfred Hitchcock was alive and made another movie. It was I was so happy that type of movie was being made and people were excited about it. That's all. Suspense.
Yeah, I really liked it. I have nothing against the movie. I just liked another one a little bit more.
I guess you probably would have liked it better if it was British and all done in one shot, right?
Yeah. If it was only white people in it, all in English.
That's so funny. It would be if Andrew and I watched that movie without subtitles. We're we loved Parasite, and I love how that you weren't supposed to understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
Maybe some of it to is like the people I talk to that I know about Parasite, and they were all saying about how it's like, oh, look how terrible rich people are, and I was like, I didn't get that at all from Parasite.
You didn't get that from Parasite?
That rich people are terrible? No.
I had this conversation with someone who didn't as well. I thought, so when they trashed their house, were you like, ugh? Were you like, did you mad that they trashed their house?
I wasn't mad on their behalf either because they didn't like do permanent damage, but I also didn't think they were the bad guy.
No, the rich people, those people specifically aren't the bad guy. I think it was like the culture that there is like impossible for them to. It's true. The main characters I don't think are supposed to be evil. They're like main rich family.
The main rich, yeah, but the poor family you're supposed to feel bad for, they were just kind of shitheads.
Well, they're just poor. That's why you feel bad for them because you're like, oh.
But I didn't feel I feel bad if they don't have money, but they also just did terrible things, and then it took away all the sympathy.
Well, that's what's great is that there's a third tier even further down.
Yeah,
no, that was cool too. And I'm not saying this to crap on the movie because I really did like the movie. It just, I don't know, maybe I just didn't see what everyone else saw in it.
It's the beauty of movies.
Yeah.
I still think
I put Midsummer at number 1 for my 2019 list.
I liked it a lot, and I like that they did a full-on horror movie in the brightest sunlight possible.
Yeah,
I know.
Like, we're not hiding in the shadows at all.
Nothing. Clear as day, all of it. But also, gets very funny at times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could talk about Midsummer for like hours. It's like one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah, the director's cut is even better than that.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is yours the director's cut list? I think on my list it's so lame. It's just written out in brackets. It's like director's cut because they re-released it in theaters like a month after for limited run in the director's cut format.
Yeah, okay, I just saw the original cut.
I went and saw it again for the director's cut. And I loved it even more. And it's very obvious kind of there's like 2 kind of scenes in a row that is the bulk of the ad time. And it's just like, oh, these are great scenes.
They're super helpful in validating her choice.
You do see nighttime in the director's cut once.
Oh, okay.
That's true. I didn't even think about it. The night scene is like...
Yeah, there's a little bit of night or maybe early dawn in the theatrical cut.
But in the original one, there's maybe a few like rituals they witness, like people jumping off the cliff or whatever. There's a whole other wacky one that's like a play about burying a kid with rocks in a lake or whatever.
Yeah,
that's so long and crazy.
And then what follows that is just like it lays pretty bare this whole kind of idea of the relationship falling apart in the movie.
Yeah, that's true. So like when I saw Midsummer in theaters, Kelly and I left, and she was like, "Ha!" Like she was so psyched that she killed Christian at the end, and she's like, "Burn him." And I was like, I don't know. He's like kind of a dick, but like I kind of felt bad for him. He's in a horrible situation, and that's not what you're supposed to feel. What I just said. And then when you watch the director's cut, it's like even more unambiguous, where it's like there's like a full scene where she's like, "I'm scared. I want to leave," and he's like, "Babe, I need to write my thesis. I don't care if you are scared." Like it's like a very
it makes it very plain what the like fundamental dynamic is in the movie.
It is true. You do need that because at the end he essentially gets drugged and raped, and you're supposed to be like, "Ha, serves you right."
Yeah,
but it's
it did seem like an extreme punishment for a guy who was like just kind of a dick. It's like you could dump him. You don't necessarily have to burn him alive.
But no, when you watch Director's Cut or even watch it a second time after having a 10-minute conversation with Kelly, you're like burn, like just like so happy about it.
Yeah.
What she pointed out, which I thought was really true, and I didn't even think about it, was like she is thriving, and he can't even look her in the eyes. And I was like, oh yeah, it's like the end where she's finally happy, and he's like,
he liked the power dynamic of their relationship before, and then when she got some agency, he was like, no, not.
He's like, whatever. This
I need you to be pathetic so I can bail you out. Yeah,
yeah, but also he wants to complain about having to do that.
Yeah. He's got to play the martyr.
Yeah.
Also, maybe one of my favorite bad. It's like a lot of directors made the protagonists their own names, kind of. I forget. I'm trying to think of any example, but her name is like, it's like Ari Aster, and her name is like what is it? It's like Annie Ardner or something.
I don't remember the name.
I couldn't tell you.
The star. How did we talk about this movie? I don't remember it either, and I'm embarrassed. But
I'm so bad with names. You could name a movie that I've watched 100 times and I wouldn't remember.
So Ari Aster, Ari, and her name is Dani Ardner, Dani. It's just like a funny thing where he's like, she's like me.
No, yeah, it's a little.
It just I just like naming people sucks. You're just like at a certain point, you're like, okay, just Bames Gots, whatever. Like my name.
Yeah, who cares? It's a placeholder.
I always do that. Like when I write our comic scripts, I'm like, okay, we got a new character. I need a name. And I ask my wife, and I ask my friend, and it's like, just call him Steve. It doesn't matter. Just put a name.
And it just seems fake when you think of one. That's the problem.
Yeah. It never sounds right. It never sounds real.
So you just name after your friends. That's like the true secret.
There you go.
They're all touched. Wait, Andrew, you sent a link to what? Oh, the poster.
Yeah, I just saw that too a little while ago. I was like, wait, what is this?
Imagine being alive. And what year is this movie came out? It's like 86. Yeah, so long from the original. The original director is like, we're doing a sequel, and then this is the poster on the wall. You'd be like, what is going on?
You'd think it was well, I guess now you would think it's a fan made spoof poster, but they didn't really have Photoshop in 86. So.
But it's also like Breakfast Club is the hottest movie at the time, so it's also weird. It's like
you just think it's a parody.
Yeah, it would be like not another teen movie or something.
Yeah, exactly. Is there a Wayne's brother in that poster?
Oh nope, that's Scary Movie.
Oh, my mistake.
You cannot mix up those two.
Those are all the same to me.
And you can't mix up Scary Movie 1 and 2 with 3 and 4 because they are also different filmmakers.
It's all the same to me.
All right, well, this is fun.
Yeah,
Andrew, I look forward to the next time I meet where Andrew and I. But I'm gonna have to watch 1917, I guess, to get into this. But
yeah, you are gonna have to
watch it on the biggest screen.
I like
that sound possible.
It's Sam Mendes. I like Sam Mendes.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I mean, it's gonna be one of those arguments because it's not like I hate one and I love the other, and you guys love one and hate the other either. Yeah. Like it's just like this one's a 99 and this one's 100. So which order do you put them in? It's not. I don't know. It's fine. You should watch it because it's a good movie, not just to see which is better.
No, I'm going to watch it to see. I'm going to take notes. I'm going to be like, another thing I didn't like about this movie is there was no upstairs, downstairs working house dynamics.
That's right. No, it's a fun watch. It's fun. It was a fun theater movie for sure. I wasn't bored.
No, but you can't be. You don't have time to be.
It lives in the realm of Dunkirk,
But you get way into the characters in this one. Dunkirk didn't have a character, and this is nothing but the characters.
Yeah,
it's true. That was
Chris Nolan. The character is time.
Yeah. I'd like to thank James and Andrew for once again taking the time to hang out with me. What was supposed to be a 30-minute quick conversation, since James is on vacation with his girlfriend at the time, became like a 2-hour just rambling insane thing with 30 or 40 minutes of top 5 list in there, but it was awesome. I had a great time doing it. I can't wait till we do it again. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Please make sure you listen to So Wizard Podcast every single week wherever you get your podcasts. So Wizard Podcast can be found on Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you get multiple monthly bonus shows for it. SoWizardPodcast.com is your resource for reviews, recommendations, videos, merchandise, and more. We love hearing feedback, so drop us a note in the comments, leave us something on social media. All of our accounts will be found after the show and in the show notes. And I forgot to do it at the top of this whole thing, but please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot more interviews, a lot more new movie coverage. I got some unboxings coming, and hopefully more top 5 lists sooner than later. You're not going to want to miss out, so please make sure to subscribe. Helps us grow our audience. Thank you. And on a more personal note, a good friend and I released a comic book at the beginning of this year. Issue 5 is just about to come out at the time of the post in this video. We have a lot coming. I should probably give you the name. The comic is called Social Studies. It's a slice-of-life comedy comic dealing with the high school experience, and we take it all through the twisted prism of the 90s cartoons that we grew up on and loved. You can check out Social Studies at socialstudiescomic.com or on Comixology. Thanks.